Dan's got company.
I don't know. Can you read that name?
Nope.
Do I need glasses?
Yeah, I'll ask.
I will ask. Yes.
Well, we all got here so early. Now we have to sit here and look at each other, right? Thank you all for coming. It's almost 5.
It's really us looking at you.
No. Should we give you our good side?
All right, it's 5 o'clock. Thank you again all for coming. I will open the meeting. We have many visitors. Are you all here for a specific one of the hearings for tonight? Is there anyone here for any other reason? Yes?
On the report of the Deerfield Valley News.
I'm so sorry. What was that?
I'm a reporter with the Deerfield Valley.
Oh, well, welcome. We're not used to seeing someone other than Mike. And what is your name?
John, hello. I'm a new reporter.
Thank you very much. Did you sign in somewhere?
I did.
Thank you so much. So any public comments, or everybody is here for one of our applications? Thank you. I have no additions to the
Cheryl.
agenda.
I think there's a question.
Oh, yes, okay.
I have a public comment, pretty much directed towards Mr. Warren's operation. Should I wait or should I go?
Which your public comment is for a particular application for tonight, correct?
In general, yes.
So let's wait till then.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
no problem.
And I have no additions to the agenda. Does anyone have any?
No.
Okay, thank you all. So let's have a motion to approve the minutes of October 20.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, John. All in favor? Cheryl, I.
Crystal, I. You weren't here yet.
Diane,
You
I.
weren't there.
John, I.
Thank you all so much. Okay, so let's move on. Mr. Tucker is already in the hot seat. So we are going to open the hearing on application 2025-170. The property address is, actually, we're going to continue the hearing. The property address is 14 West Main Street. The owner is Town of Wilmington, and Scott Tucker is the agent. The proposal is a conditional structural alteration to modify 2 existing wooden decks and rehabilitate the windows of Memorial Hall in the Village District and Flood Hazard and Historic District Review Overlay Districts. The applicable code sections are Article 2, Section 221, 222, 223, 224, 226, 227, 234, 271, and 272. Article 4, Section 440, 444, and 450B. Article 5, Section 512, 520, 521, 522, 530, 531, 3, and 5. It's probably not 3. And Article 6, Section 602, 609, 610, 620. And Article 7, Section 710, 720, 721, 722, 723, and 730A. To the board, are there any conflicts of interest or ex parte discussions?
No.
No. Thank you all. And Scott, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear?
And
that
Ham,
testimony-
Hamilton too.
I'm sorry?
And Mr. Hamilton.
Oh, is he here?
Hodgman, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Ham-
There he is. Thank you so much. I didn't realize you had joined us. Thank you. Would you please raise your right hand? You both are. Thank you. Do you swear the testimony you provide is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. And I will turn it over to John. I have one quick, before I do that, John, would you please, I know you just came in, would you please sign in for whichever, there's 3 sheets there, just sign in for whichever case you're here for. Thank you. And there's a gentleman on here, we cannot see what your name is. I'm sorry. Could you tell us what your name is, please?
Timothy,
Fair.
Charlie can read it?
I guess so.
Okay.
I just don't know what case he's here for.
I don't know what, Mr. What was the name?
Fair.
Timothy.
Timothy,
Well,
can
yes,
you,
gentlemen. I'm here with Matt and Ronnie Horn on the Matt Horn sign appeal.
okay, thank you.
And then.
And Ann Gibbs, what case are you here for? Ann Gibbs, you're muted.
Okay.
Carry on.
Okay, then. All right, well, thank you all, and you go ahead, please, John. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Good evening, Scott. Hopefully this will be pretty quick. We covered most everything at our last hearing, except for Article 6, which deals with the flood hazard things. Before we get to Article 6, I just want to note there's 2 additional exhibits. Exhibit 15, which is a letter from the Vermont Department of Environmental Conservation to Alex Miller, dated 10/29/2025, which is 2 pages in length, and a letter from Hodgman Engineering and Permitting PLLC to Scott Tucker, dated 10/29/2025, which is 8 pages in length. We also, just to note, added an additional exhibit at our last hearing, which was Exhibit 14, which is the additional photos, Scott, that you provided us at the hearing. So now let's move on to the substance that we need to deal with today, which is Article 6. Thanks to Alex, we now have the Vermont Department of Environmental Conservation's review of this application. I note that they recommended that the deck and ramp be built using flood-resistant materials such as concrete, cement, treated solid wood, or steel, and be anchored to cement or helical piles. And then we do have information from Hodgman Consulting with respect to their recommendation that the ramp be anchored with either 1 or 2 helical anchors. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did the math on that by itself. It doesn't need the anchors, but it's still pretty close. So I basically put out a recommendation if the town wanted to have more of a belt and suspenders, some small, 2 small anchors. By itself, the deck is not buoyant. There's enough steel in it that keeps it in place, and the forces are pretty low based on what would happen there. But it also is, it's not overwhelmingly heavy. So the mass, the layer supports that no additional anchorage is necessary, but I did provide some recommendation for either two short ones in case we hit ledge, or 1 long one if that would pretty much put any other concerns to rest.
Okay.
But it's optional from my perspective.
The Department of Environmental Conservation seemed to think that some sort of anchoring system would be best. Okay, so that deals with the what is it called? The deck. So now we need to turn to the ramp. So how is the ramp going to be secure?
I'm a little less involved in that one. I've spoken with Scott. I think I would let Scott speak, but we certainly could anchor him in the same fashion, and as far as that goes. But I'll let him take it this one.
Okay, great.
John, I think we would follow the same consistent pattern by meeting all the FEMA standards that you heard about the lower platform, and the materials involved would be potentially a combination of treated wood, cedar, and steel, or either a combination or just steel, which would be heavy enough to meet all the standards, including the falling snow and rain, and then anything that the floodway might provide in that particular area. But Ham will be working with me on that, and we will have a design that will be similar to what we're proposing down below in terms of how it's going to stand up to the floodway.
Okay, and how do you propose to anchor the ramp?
I think it might be heavy enough without it, but if you want an anchor, we would utilize the same system.
Same type of thing, either a 30-inch helical anchor or I believe 2 15-inch helical anchors.
I think so, or they might have to be more, depending on depending on the numbers and doing all the math on it. But certainly very similar. We could do very similar.
Okay, great. That is all the information I needed, Cheryl. So if anybody on the DRB has questions, please go ahead.
Diane, any questions? Thank you. Crystal?
No, I think the only thing we didn't know last time was the material.
Right, we weren't sure of the materials. We
So-
still aren't.
So there's another piece, because this is state money, and that is the historical piece. And that means that I have to also pass this by the MERP, a Mansfield Energy Restoration Grant, with the historic folks at the state level. So they have somewhat differing views, but I have not actually negotiated with them. But I think in my listening to what was being said in this room with differing opinions, is that if it were steel, of course, it would be dark in color, black or something that would match a little bit closer, I think, to the building. But steel would allow, and I think Diane made this point, would allow you to see through to the actual historic structure. Keeping in mind, currently, we have 2 fire escapes that are black on the building as well. So I'm not sure it would stick out that far. But what I would hope is that you give me the leeway to meet all the FEMA standards in terms of pressure treated wood, perhaps for the sub, maybe some wood or maybe all steel. I don't know yet until I actually talk with the state folks. But certainly, I think steel and wood, and that wood, I'm looking at cedar, or the substructure could be pressure treated wood.
So question. Are you going to have to come back to us because of the historic?
I'm hoping that the writer and in the group that discusses this would give me some latitude on this. Just as long as I'm meeting FEMA standards, and I think I have explained what potentially it could look like, but I would hope you give me some latitude on this.
Because you are in the historic district, as you know.
But it's not a historic structure.
It is not. It is not on the list.
No.
He means
The ramps are
The
not
ramps are
historic.
not, right,
They're
yes.
not historic. I have a
Right.
picture.
they're not the historic components. is
Right.
what- Yeah.
I have a picture showing what it used to look like,
Right,
which you don't need, but I'm just saying it used to be a porch.
right.
But again, we want it to look right. We want it to fit in well, and I think it will. And of course, I still have to talk further with the state historic preservation group as part of the grant.
As part of the grant, correct, yes. John, you are satisfied with everything that we've done with the historic, correct? Because we have all of section 5.
Yeah, no, we went through section 5, we went through section 4, section 2, section 7. We needed to follow up on section 6, which I received the 2 exhibits, which give me a lot of information, and the testimony I heard tonight is extremely helpful.
Super. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Scott, thank you, and we will close the hearing.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, Ham. And Mr. Petrie, would you like to come up? We will open the hearing on application 2025-183. The property address is 136 Vermont Route 100 North.
126, I believe. Is it 126 or 136?
136.
Excellent. Thank you.
136. And the owner is, I can't believe this, I don't know LLC. Seriously? Okay, Dave.
I love
And the
it.
proposal is a secondary use to open a food truck in addition to the existing retail business in the commercial residential district. We will be looking at the applicable code sections, Article 2, Section 221, 222, 223, 224, 226, 227, 271, 272. Article 4, Section 420, 424, 426, 440, 444, and 450E. Article 7, Section 710, 720, 721, 722, and 730A. Is there anyone else in the room who is here for this application? All along.
I flew under the radar with the name, so.
Right. Are there any conflicts of interest or ex parte discussions with the board? Thank you. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear the testimony you provide is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
Thank you, Dave. We're going to turn it over to Crystal. Crystal is going to be your case manager.
All right. Okay, so before you tell me in your own words why you're here to see us, I'm first going to run through the exhibits that we have so that everyone knows what we're working with here. I have number 1, the Town of Wilmington DRB cover sheet. Number 2, the zoning permit staff report. Number 3, I have the application for DRB review, which is a total of 6 pages, including your written portion. Number 4 is the property survey. Number 5 is a parcel overview with setbacks indicated. Number 6 is the parcel overview with the floodway areas marked. Number 7 is the parcel overview with parking spots indicated. Number 8 is a copy of the warning. 9, a list of abutters with the date stamp of 10/16/25 for the notice mailing. Number 10 is a spreadsheet with financial data. Number 11 is the Town of Wilmington transaction detail report dated 10/27/25. I wasn't sure what to call those things, so that's the name I've given them. Does that sound like the extent of your package? Yes. Great. Okay. So tell us, before we start going through all the things, just in your own words, what is it you're looking to do with the food truck?
My store needs a kitchen.
Okay.
So, walk into any supermarket or small grocery store, and the successful ones have kitchens. And I learned this pretty quickly after buying the store, not knowing it before buying the store. And the only place to put a kitchen in the building itself, and it's where the kitchen used to be for all the years that this place was a restaurant, is in terrible disrepair. It would be a tear down project. And so the costs would be exorbitant. It might be something later on down the road that I decide to do. But at this point, to be able to be expedient and to be able to do it in a way that's affordable, I have a contract on a very large food trailer that is basically a mobile commercial kitchen. So
when you say the word mobile kitchen, help me to understand it visually. It's more, it has wheels on it. It looks like a food truck.
It looks like it's a very large food trailer.
Okay.
Yes.
So similar visual appearance as a food truck. Okay, great. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to start to just go through the individual articles that Cheryl read off. The first one is Article 2. Basically, Article 2 just talks about all the administrative procedures associated with the DRB. It provides definitions, explains our role, the responsibility that you have, how to handle any changes after you've received a decision from us. It talks about what you need to do to submit an application, who can be heard at a public hearing. So at this point, we've received your application. We have necessary documents to understand what it is that you're looking to do. And basically, do you have any questions about any of the administrative procedures associated with this hearing?
I do not.
Okay, so that's Article 2. So now we're going to move to Article 4, which covers districts and the uses that are allowed in those districts. So your subject property is within the commercial residential district, which you're aware of. We have your tax map parcels from Alex. And basically, it's interesting. So your property spans 2 adjoining parcels, but the structure goes across both those parcels, or partially it does.
The existing structure.
Okay, yes, the existing one. And it's basically, in our jargon, considered a legal existing nonconformity based on how the structure and the parcels are set up with each other. So the current use of the principal structure is retail, and the proposed secondary use of a food truck is what we would call a conditional use, and that's obviously permitted after you come and talk to us, which is why you're here. So I noticed that based on the drawings, the placement of the food truck will maintain both the front and the side setbacks at the minimum requirement for your district. Is there anything about your district or the conditional use that you don't understand or you have questions about?
I do not have any questions.
Okay. So now we're going to look at Article 7, which is standards. So in this article, there's a couple specific questions to ask you that'll help us sort of understand the impact of the food truck there. So the first one I'm going to look at is Article Section 710. Basically, we want to know, is there going to be any continuous, permanent, ongoing, or frequent vibration that would be discernible at the property line that will be generated from the food truck?
No.
What about noise? So basically, there is a noise ordinance here in Wilmington. There can't be any continuous, permanent, ongoing, or frequent noise in excess of that of a normal conversation at the property line between the hours of 9 p.m. and 7 a.m., which is our quiet hours. And also there can't be any noise that would significantly detract from or diminish other properties' allowed use or land development. So do you anticipate any noise that would interfere with this ordinance? Great. What are the hours that you're looking to have the food truck operational for people who would access it as customers, not for using it for kitchen purposes, but?
The hours will begin at 7 in the morning.
Okay.
So, and then I'm going to staff it through, probably 3:30.
Okay.
The folks will be getting in there earlier, so I don't have to explain that to that.
Do you think, so Dave, do you think at some point you're gonna wanna have longer hours? It's much better to deal with it now than have to come back. So if your current hours for your retail are 10 to, is it 7 or 8?
I'm open every night until 7. Currently, I open at 9 o'clock on the Saturday and
Okay.
Sunday,
All right, no, yeah,
and open at 10 o'clock during the week.
right,
So this would be an extension of that, opening at 7.
right. What time do you think you
It
could?
wouldn't go, it wouldn't, it would be right now at the same hours that we would be talking about. I mean, I've thought about staying open until 9 o'clock. There have been times I've stayed open until 9 o'clock if customers are still rolling in the door. So, but it wouldn't be past 9.
So you think you're gonna be open with the food truck from 7 till 8?
If you're,
You should give us the widest range that you would
Right,
possibly
that's what I'm
ever use.
hearing, yes,
Yes.
so that I don't have to come back.
Exactly.
It's better if you
Yes.
just were to consider any and all iterations
Yes,
of the food truck.
the
and-
widest range, once it's up and running, would be 7 in the morning until 9 o'clock at night.
And it'll be 7 days a week.
That is the widest range,
Right.
yes.
Yep, thank you.
All right, so talk to me about what will be going on inside of the truck, because the next section asks about injurious or noxious practices, which sounds very dramatic, but basically, liquid or solid refuse, waste, heat, cold, dampness, explosive, fire, glare, and then also, this ventilation, what all is going to be going on in there?
People will be cooking.
Is there any sort of byproducts from whatever you're going to be cooking? Anything that's in this category that I just read? Electromagnetic, liquid, or solid
No.
refuse or waste? Okay. All right. So section 721, is it very?
Sorry, can we go back to
Oh,
that?
yes. Go ahead.
So what happens with the waste from the food truck?
I'm on town sewer, so I already checked with John Lozelle, and he feels that I have enough of a
Allocation.
allocation.
Yep, so do
Yeah,
you have a
allotment
larger,
allocation.
but
So-
for the actual cooking waste, right? So
Yes.
Vermont's got a, farm, what's that thing? Any waste has got to go into the farm program, right? Yep.
Which is
I
what,
mean, it's-
I already do. I
Okay,
have a farmer who already picks up food waste for, he raises pigs. So,
okay. So there'll be that, and then obviously, do you already have a dumpster for the property as well?
yes,
Okay,
recycling and waste. So we recycle everything that we can.
All right. So we'll get more into some of the other pieces of that when we get to section 730, but first we're going to just briefly discuss section 721, which looks at just general standards. It's our job just to make sure there's no adverse effect on a couple of the things that are listed in this section. So basically, do you anticipate any adverse effect on traffic, roads, highways,
Nope,
pedestrian walkways,
there aren't any, so no.
utilization, well, that air quality,
Nope,
the character, aesthetics, and scenic value of the neighborhood?
nope.
Talk to me a little bit about how the visual experience will be, meaning what will be outside of the food truck in terms of areas where people would stand and order. Is there going to be any seating, trash receptacles? Just walk me through what you're.
We'll have trash receptacles. There's going to be no seating. It's a grab and go. The real goal of this, again, is to get people into the store. So, you know, we foresee that most of the products made in the trailer are going to be sold in the store.
Okay. And did your, I'm pretty sure in the list of, in your like narrative, you list the size of the food truck. Is that in there? The dimensions of it? I don't recall.
Maybe.
Do you
I don't
know
think so.
what the dimensions are?
24 by 8.
You have 28 by 8.
28 by 8. Oh, because I'm including the tongue for the hitch.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So,
So you're saying, so all the food in this is gonna be made, none of it's made to order?
No, I'm not looking to get into made to order.
so it's pre-made items. People can walk up and purchase them directly from the food truck, or they could get them inside.
If I have to go the widest range, I'll say yes, we're potentially going to do made to order. I don't know if that fits into this one, but I don't want to have to come back because all of a sudden we need to, you know, ask people what cheese they want, but.
Well, I guess that question comes more back to that if you're gonna go to, like, in your narrative, this, you said the trailer also a very small menu of grab and go breakfast and lunch items,
Yeah.
right? So, but there'll be no seating, so people will just,
Grab
what
and
if
go.
somebody, okay,
And you're gonna have some sort of delineation between the parking and where, so when people go to the food truck to get their order and do their grab and go before the market opens, you'll have some kind of delineation so that there'll be a parking space and then like a little area that they walk where the trash cans are or something.
Well, as I addressed in the application, when it's going to be grab and go from the window service, primarily it's going to be when the store is closed. So there's lots of parking for people to choose from as to where they go, and it'll be clear that there's a window that they go to, and trash will be right outside.
Okay, so that's, that we just
Yeah.
need to make sure that it's a safety feature.
Yeah.
And the other thing would be lighting.
Right, which we're gonna get to in just a second,
Right.
actually, so hold that thought. But specifically about what Cheryl's asking is that there has to be something that's apparent to a driver that they shouldn't proceed past a certain point. So I don't know if you have like the ability to put up a cone or something that indicates the parking spots that are, you know, are directly in front of where the food truck
Yes.
is going to be located. There will have to be something because people will need to know where the endpoint is for their vehicle. So you
Okay.
will need to have to provide something, whatever that is, that
Okay.
indicates to the driver that they can't pull all the way up to the food truck. Even if there's a window, you and I
Yes.
both know that individuals need direction.
Yes.
Yes, so that's part of what we're saying about the safety between where the pedestrian would be and where the cars are parking. There has to be something that tells them
Okay.
where to not go past.
Okay. There will be.
Excellent. Okay, so now we're going to talk about a couple other things. So section 722 talks about preserving the character of town, just ensuring that any development is consistent with the rural, agricultural, and historic nature of our town. And obviously there's some, you know, limitations in there for other things that don't apply to you in this moment. The one thing that we're curious about is utility placement. I noticed that in the narrative, there's something about it being close to the power. Talk to me about how that.
Most of the power comes through the barn, which this is going to be parked next to the barn.
Yes.
So the trailer is literally plug and play. So I need to have a 220 amp outlet installed on the outside of the barn that's hooked to a 50 amp breaker and good to go.
And whatever the distance is between the trailer, what is the distance between the food trailer and the barn itself?
Depends on, so the tightest,
So whatever the
it's
distance
about,
is.
you know, it's gonna be, I didn't measure that because I
Okay.
consider it a setback, but
Yeah.
it's, you know, where it's the tightest is at that southeast corner.
Yeah.
And that's probably only gonna be about 4 or 5 feet.
Okay,
But it's not, there, the only thing that's beyond that is actually the access door for the staff.
right. So
So,
no one.
yeah.
So wherever you run the actual power, this plug and play that you're talking about, there'll need to be something in place to prevent anyone from accidentally tripping on it
Yes.
or somehow greeting it. It
Yes.
just needs to be either a protective cover of some kind of conduit
Or
or something.
teeth mowing over it. Or
Yeah,
something like that.
exactly.
Yes.
Any of the above.
Yes.
So just be mindful of that
Yeah.
placement. Okay, great. I'm looking at your picture now. That helps. All right, so now let's talk about lighting. So I'm sure you're aware there's a whole thing in our ordinance about lighting, about the importance of reducing and making sure there isn't any glare or reflection, especially if it's, you know, creates a nuisance to neighboring properties, or if it somehow would negatively impact the aesthetics of like our area. So talk to me about what lighting would be on the exterior of the food truck.
Well, there's already lighting that is for the parking lot directly in front. The light does not always work, and it's out right now, actually.
Is that
So
on your, it's structure mounted like on the barn?
No,
or
it's
you're talking
actually
about the
pole
one above?
mounted,
Okay.
yeah. So there's a light there that I'm gonna need to get looked at because it's way up on the pole and I'm not going up there. You know, we're gonna use the, you know, the no larger than 2-inch bulbs that are already elsewhere on the property. The trailer has some already that's along the top drip line.
And are those downcast?
Yes, they're
And
downcast.
are they shielded in some way?
They're the same ones that I have elsewhere, so I think so. They're not. We're talking the 2-inch, a little 2-inch, like
The
Yeah.
like string lights? is
yeah,
what
the
you're
string
talking about?
lights,
Okay.
which are a different.
What about anything other than a string light?
The only thing, there's 2 illuminated signs for each of the windows, and but those are. I'm not planning on using those. So
Meaning they're already like part of the existing?
yeah, it's part of the existing. It's just part of the structure. So
You can
it would
look
probably be
over-
considered that, you know,
Yeah.
it would be considered signage, and it would be considered backlit signage, and I'm not planning
And
on.
that's a no-no.
Exactly.
you'll see.
Exactly. Right.
Internally illuminated, you know.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I'm
feel
not. Yeah.
bucolic, I guess.
And I'm not running
For the
a
zoning.
carnival that, you
Yeah.
know,
Okay.
where this might be used, and those signs would be helpful.
So basically just any lighting that you provide, one, you're gonna want lighting for safety so people know where to
Yes.
go. So you'll just want to be mindful of that. And if the string lights provide that,
Yes.
they're, as I understand it, those are permitted. But any other additional lighting like has to just meet the criteria of being downcast and being shielded.
Yes.
And then especially since, you know, there's a road nearby and stuff like that, you wouldn't want the lights to be pointed in any direction
Yes.
that would cause a distraction to drivers, whatever, you know.
Any lights required for safety would be shielded and downcast.
Okay, great.
Signage. We don't have anything in here about signage. What are you going to do for a menu board?
Again, my goal is to have people come into the store. So there are 2 menu boards on the truck, but I don't plan on utilizing them. And any signage that I would add, I would work with Alex on, they would already be permitted.
So you would make sure that you worked with Alex and it was something that he could permit.
Yes, any additional signage is going to be something that he can permit. So
That will be a condition.
absolutely. And if for any reason I need to change to signage, I would plan on coming back and meeting with you guys and seeing if it would get approved, but I don't foresee that right now.
And then parking, I saw you included the drawing with all of the parking on there. I don't, maybe someone on the DRB can correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see any ordinance that required specific parking spaces for the food truck. I only saw the one requiring it for your retail business.
I have a question on parking. So don't take this incorrectly, but your parking lot's very difficult as it is now. And if we add a food truck to it with pedestrian safety, do you have plans here to make it easier? Like, I guess my concern is that based on your sketch here, right? Someone parks. Yeah, I'm concerned about the pedestrian safety. So do you have any plans to mark the parking spots? And also how people are gonna walk up to the food truck and safely get back and forth between the buildings?
So, yes, there's a spot for, the staff will be able to fall along the side of the barn to get between the food truck and the building. So that's just an area that's, right now it's got some low brush on it that I'm gonna move. And then there's a ramp, fortunately, that comes down almost next to the barn that they'll be able to use, that will keep them out of the parking lot.
I'm more concerned about yes, I'm concerned about your employees as well.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, as we all know, that sometimes people put on blinders when they're walking through a parking lot. So if someone walks up to the food truck and then walks back into the parking lot, what can we do for pedestrian safety? Right, when we look at your map that you shared us,
Yeah.
you've got, I'd say, 5 spots in front of the building, 4 spots in front of the food truck, and 2 on the opposite side of it. So there's already cars parking in front of the food truck. How is someone gonna walk from the food truck to the building? Are you gonna delineate a pedestrian
he's
walkway?
asking
For
about
instance,
specifically like.
Mill and Whistle, here's a good example, right? So people, that's just to walk through, they do not enter inside, but the parking lot's behind the building. So they, on our guidance, made a parking area, they made a lane, and then they painted a pedestrian walkway that shows that people shouldn't be walking in the road because there's cars there and there's a walkway. So my concern is how are people gonna walk from the red food truck to the building, going through the parking lot?
So what I can do, there's actually an old split rail fence that is stacked up right next to the barn. And I was actually gonna use that at the end of the spaces so that, not that the split rail fence is gonna slow anybody down if they're gonna drive all the way into the truck. And, you know, so, but there's enough of that split rail fence that I could actually use it to create more of a walkway along the barn, the same area that the employees would be walking in order to get between the food trailer and the store. So.
Yeah, we can make it a condition that you give a plan to Alex with a pedestrian walkway.
Okay. Yep, I can do that. As for marking, I have a gravel lot. I could mark the spaces, but the first time fuzzy clouds are gonna be gone. So, you know. I wish I could mark the spaces because the way people park in that lot sometimes is actually more of a problem than anything else.
So when people pay for their food from the food truck, do they pay inside or do they pay at the food truck?
So the breakfast service and limited lunch, they're gonna be paying at the food truck. But again, most of the food is gonna be sold in the store. So we'll have grab-and-go sandwiches in the store, all the prepared meals are for the store. So.
But the idea is just if somebody didn't need groceries that day, they just want to grab a sandwich.
They
Or
want a
their wife's
sandwich and a
going
Coke and they
inside to
go
get
to
something
the,
and they're gonna
there's
walk
gonna be a
over to the food truck.
register.
Yeah, just, yeah.
I'm gonna need one for the morning anyway, so.
Okay. All right, I don't have any other questions. Let me make sure I don't have any other questions.
John, do you have any questions?
Nope.
Diane?
No, no question.
Thank you. Charlie?
No, I have more parking questions, but I'd like to see the pedestrian walkway. That's, it's a difficult parking sometimes without the food truck. So, sort of, I know there's nothing you could do with gravel, but I don't know if you can utilize more of the fence to designate sort of where the parking is.
There's a lot of fence there.
Yep.
So I can't use the fence necessarily to designate
Even a
you know,
post,
parking spaces.
maybe a
So,
couple, like.
be like
posts,
horse
Like
corrals.
a post with, a rope or something. I don't know, maybe just something. I hear what Charlie's saying.
Think about like River Valley Market, their food trucks are very far away, but when you pull out the exit, you're still walking through people that are going back and forth between
Hmm.
food truck and the parking area. So it just,
Right, and that's,
Yeah.
there's nothing
whether
designated
it's a
there.
topiary and a cement block or something like that, something just to,
Planters, anything,
Yeah.
yeah.
RVQ and Nomad, there's nothing designating a pedestrian walkway, and they're walking past where the trucks are heading to the loading zones
Right.
and everything like that.
and they've
So,
got a larger footprint, you've got a smaller footprint. So I'm just concerned about the parking and the pedestrian walkway.
Gotcha.
That will be a condition.
Okay. I like working with Alex, so
Great, good.
dust off my Photoshop skills.
I think that's,
So no questions from Diane or John and Charlie, you all set now?
Yes, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you for coming in,
Yes,
appreciate
and your hearing is now closed. Ronnie, Matt, come on up. Thank you. We can, if you think we need it, we can get you another speaker. What do you think? You want one?
Your own?
We're good.
You're good? Okay. All right, so, well, thank you. So we are going to open the hearing on violation case 119, which is an appeal of the Development Review Board decision on application 2025-018. The property address is 7 North Main Street. The owners are Matthew and Veronica Horn. The proposal is a request for reconsideration of 6 signs which were not allowed in DRB decision 2025-118, which was issued on April 28, 2025. The property is in the Village District and the Historic and Village Design Review Overlay Districts. We will be looking at the applicable code sections, Article 2, Section 213, 221, 222, 223, 224, 226, 227, 229, 233, 234, 240, 246, 271, 272. Article 4, Section 420, 440, 450B. Article 5, Section 510, 511, 512, 520, 521, 522, 530E, and 540. And the main section is Article 8, which is the signage. So it's Section 801, 802, 803, 822E, F, and H, 823K, 830, 831, 832, 833, 842, 843, 844, 850, 860, 870, 871, 873, 874, 880, 881, and 890. Whew. And just to the board, are there any conflicts of interest or ex parte discussions?
Nope.
And I believe, Crystal, you were going to recuse.
Yes.
Thank you so much. John and Diane, any ex parte discussions or conflicts of interest?
No,
No.
Thank you so much.
Interesting.
So I know that many of you are here to hear this application, or it's actually a violation hearing. So are there any other than Matt and Ronnie who will be testifying in this case?
Jay, aren't you for testimony?
I like this.
Also,
Are you speaking to testify, or you just want to make a comment?
Well,
Okay, anyone else?
I have comments.
Are you testifying in this case?
Nope.
So, okay, so those who are going to testify, would you please raise your right hand? We will need you to, because everything has to be recorded. So why don't you sit yourself in the front row and grab one of these and turn it on?
Can I sit there? That chair.
Nope, you may sit up there.
Oh, that's for only judges.
Yes,
Gotcha.
and if you
So-
push the button on the top, it'll turn on. Yep, you got it.
Sure,
Okay.
what about our attorneys? That's here.
I'm sorry?
What about our attorney too? He will be speaking.
Your attorney is on there and he will be, yep, he will also. Yep. So all of those who are going to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you provide is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay. So, you guys are so lucky as you're gonna have me as your case manager. And I'm gonna go through a lot of this really quickly because what we're really just talking about in this case is signage. But, so we do have a whole lot of exhibits. And, I'm gonna go through the exhibits. It's everything that Alex provided to us. The first exhibit is the cover sheet. The second is the staff report. The third is notice of appeal, and that is 2 pages. 4 is the letter from Matt and Veronica dated 9/30/2025. 5 is the zoning site visit report with photographs, and that is 8 pages. 6 is the letter dated September 8, 2025 from Monahan and Sapphire, the notice of violation, that is the town attorney, and that is 2 pages. 7 is the notice of hearing. 8 is the abutters list. 9 is the zoning permit and decision. That is 15 pages, and that is the initial April 28 permit from the zoning administrator and the decision. 10 is the original warning and application and communications between everyone, and that is 40 pages. And 11 is the signs from the site inspection that Alex did, and that is 16 pages. Is there anything else that you want to add or that I've left out?
I haven't seen half of this.
I'm just curious, there's 5 signs in contention. How do you get 16 pages of,
For our appeal,
chunk?
everything else. Is gone.
My understanding is there's 6 signs that you've asked for. And how do we get, what was the question? Which
How do you
part?
get 16 pages of?
The,
whatever you get?
that, when Alex went for the site visit,
We don't have a copy of that.
It is Microsoft.
you don't have a copy of that?
I don't have a copy of half these exhibits.
Is that just the site visit report with the photos?
The
or
site
is there-
visit report
There's
was.
anything
Yeah,
that,
I have it here. I can go make copies.
Can you make a copy for the horns, please? We'll wait for that. So you have it in front of you. Thank you, Alex.
Jason Duback, it's on the legend.
Okay.
Searsburg, Vermont.
Is your attorney gonna be able to see this?
our attorney hasn't seen this either.
I would just like to point out that this is a hearing and we're expecting to be hearing primarily from the witnesses, okay? Thank you so much. And I'm sorry, your attorney, what was your name?
Timothy Fair,
Thank you, Timothy. Appreciate it.
no problem.
Ann Gibbs, you still haven't unmuted and told us what case you're here for. Okay. Anybody know Ann Gibbs?
No.
So while we're waiting for that, I'm going to just start in on, as you all know, because we've spent so much time together here. Article 2 is all of the administrative procedures. So all of those sections from 213 straight on through are, it's about signs, it's about the role of the DRB, land development, and all of that, including the who can speak at a public hearing and the public hearings. That is just the administrative. Do you have any questions on that?
No, I have no questions on that.
Super, thank you. So, just jumping into this again, we are here primarily that you have asked
Yes.
us to look again at the signs. There are 6 signs, correct?
We're taking one out that you've asked for, so you could call 5 right here. This is the green sign that allows the cross to let medical people know that we are here and we understand how to utilize and advise. We are waiting on potentially we're taking that down. So take that out.
Alex, are you aware of what sign they're talking about?
Right here,
The green cross you
the
referred to?
green
Yes.
cross that's on the inside going out. We are removing that.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so take
we
that
are,
out.
so for everyone's notice, the green cross is coming off the request.
That is correct. It is the rest that are very important, as I expressed, and Matt and I both, to appeal these signs. Because this is how we can let the community know that we are different, what we carry. We are somewhat aesthetically, we have put these vintage signs out from, you've seen the Chicago dog, the Polish sausage on the side, the Vienna on the side. These signs are very important to identify who we are. We're just not throwing hot dogs in water any kind. So
Okay,
it's
so
important.
we're gonna go
for
through
business.
everything and we're gonna get to
Do
that.
one at a
I
time.
promise.
Well, this is it. There's 5 things, 5 signs. Everything
the-
else is gone.
The
right
green
now.
cross, you don't need any
No,
longer?
we're taking it down.
Okay, thank you. All right,
That's it. The rest is
I'm
very
gonna go
important.
through all and
Let's
then
do
we're
that.
gonna get to 8, and then we'll talk about the signs. Okay, so Article 4, we've gone over Article 2, we're all good with that. Article 4 is the district and uses, and you are in the village district, and you, as I think we talked, are also in the historic and the village design review. So you're aware of all of that, and your use has not changed. You're still doing retail, and nothing has changed in that respect, correct?
We're retail, yes, correct.
So now we're going to go, do you have any questions on any of that part of it?
No?
Thank you. So now let's go to Article 5, which is the village district and the historic design. Again, we've gone through all of these. There is nothing that you're changing in terms of that. You're not changing anything on the outside. You're not changing anything. Am I correct?
What you
The
see,
only thing you want to do is these 5 signs.
That's
We're not changing anything with the chairs or the fire or any of the things that
No.
have all been approved and permitted.
no,
Okay.
we're not changing.
All right, so then we're all good with that. And then we're going on to Article 8, signs. So one of the questions I have is, how many businesses are in the building? I know that was a question that came up with one of our earlier hearings.
You guys approved it, that's what I don't understand. We have one business in your building, which is the apothecary, that sells medical marijuana and gifts. One building. We have the hot dog stand, which you approved. And then we have a sign where we sell hot dogs.
And then you also have the business, which has a sign, which is the spa.
That is what you
No,
just
that's
said.
a
That's
spa
spa's
hot
hot tubs. so
Right,
sorry.
but that also
But
has
that
a
is-
sign.
Yes, correct.
And now you're also requesting that one of the signs is the sign that talks about the ski chairs.
We are
Yes,
gonna come back for that.
So that is one of the 5 signs.
No, that's the, yes, the ski
Yeah.
sign, yes, the ski sign.
And so
Cooking
is that
and
an
board.
additional business that is in
No.
that?
That's
I
part of
sell ski
retail.
chairs.
That's part of the retail. We
That's
can
part
sell
of your
accessory
retail that's coming out of
departments.
the building.
That is correct. It's under one,
It's inside or outside. It's no different than Shaw's, which is a shopping center. They sell fireworks. Do they need a separate business for fireworks?
it's another department.
I'm just curious.
We have departments within our POS. We have departments within our business that allows us to do accessories and retail. This is all retail oriented, all our business, including the Vienna hot dogs.
Okay,
Are part of that.
so you,
The accounting set it up that way. It's a
I understand,
set,
because I know we've talked about that
Mhm.
before.
yeah.
We did not allow or permit the sign for the sale of the chairs. We didn't say you couldn't put out the chairs, we just did not allow the sign for that, and that is one of the signs that you're coming back to us
That
with,
is correct.
correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Can I ask a question on that?
yeah, of course.
I don't remember who was there, but I believe it was you, Crystal, Jessica. We were standing there and you were telling us all the signs we had to take down, and we did it right away within the week. And I remember you guys saying we're allowed to have one sign on each side of our building. Is that true or not true? I'm just curious.
You have a better memory than I. So this is the sign that you, so the sign
I'm
for
just
the
talking about any
chairs.
signs. I mean, I'll take my ski sign and put it on the side of the building, is all I'm saying.
So what, so
Instead of the
this,
front,
so
the side,
the side of the building that
the skis are on,
where the chairs are,
lined up.
Lined
yeah,
up.
they're lined up on
Yes.
that side of the building.
Yeah.
You would like to put the,
Ski sign on that side of the
on
building.
that side of the
Instead of
building.
the front. where
Okay.
You didn't like it.
All right, so, anytime anybody has questions, please just jump in, okay? John, Diane, Charlie.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm trying to follow.
So, okay, so I want to go through the signs that you're asking for. This is my understanding. So you're asking for the ski sign and you want that now to be on the side of the building.
Correct.
And then you're asking for the hot dog signs. Now, you currently have a hot dog for sale sign that was permitted. You were asked to take down the signs that are on the sides of the building where,
Where we
next
had-
to where the hot dogs are being
Yeah,
sold.
when we had fun signs that people enjoyed reading them, that no one from the street could see. But yeah, they're down.
All of the
They're all
signs
done.
that you've requested in your list that were whimsical or fun or enjoyable are not there. The only signs we kept to keep our business going successfully, so people understood what we have, particularly in the hot dogs or of the realm of the ski chairs, are these.
So what we're looking
So
at,
what you're looking at is what we're asking.
so everybody
to
has
remain.
everyone has this, so let's go through it. So what we're looking at on the front of the
Do you
building
want
where
to start
you,
with that, the sign?
where you order your hot dog
Yes.
is the Chicago style hot dogs Vienna beef. That's what you
have
wanted,
these- You have these here, yeah.
which
So
has, which,
this and this. That's the front.
A logo signs up
Alright.
top and this is at the
You
bottom.
have who we are and our logo.
that's the Matterhorn Doghouse sign?
Yes, that's the top.
Okay,
Of
but
the-
wasn't
of the
that
window.
permitted?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Was it
right.
permitted with the logo? Was it permitted with the logo? The logo was part of the sign.
The logo being the
The hot
The
dog,
hot
that
dog
is
itself.
that is the logo of the Matterhorn.
up on the top.
Doghouse
I
on
don't
the
believe
top.
that, was that permitted, John? Do you remember?
I'm reading the decision right now.
Yeah.
I can tell you what was permitted, so
This,
you
we
have to
know,
read
we
it.
know, we read.
What was
we read
permitted was
everything.
that we had this exact sign, but not the way it is. The issue we had, and I didn't really think I needed to call, we were building this hut up in Maine.
You see
We
this
got a
sign?
call, I called the DOT to make sure of my heights that I need, and we had to lower the roof 3 feet to get it, because we brought it down on a flat.
So,
So what that meant is where the dog bone is, I'm missing 3 feet that I needed to put that logo in. So what I did was I took the logo off of the sign and put it right above the sign.
it's always
Now, if it needs
okay.
to be one sign, I'll put a dowel to attach it to it. But I,
Then it becomes one sign.
I'm sorry if that offensive to everybody.
These are not.
Okay,
this
so
is
we've
one
got,
sign.
so on the front of the hot dog cart, just to be sure that we're clear, we've got the Chicago style hot dogs Vienna beef.
Yeah.
And up above, we've got that sign, which is the
Which
sign
is the name of our.
that has
store.
the cutout with the hot dog guy.
That
And
is
then
the logo.
the Matterhorn Doghouse.
Yes, that's.
So
the
that's your logo
That's
on
our
the top.
logo. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Did you just do that?
No, Timothy Fair just did
So
that.
I did that just so that it would be easy to see exactly what was being discussed.
Okay, all right, thank you, appreciate that.
That is our logo.
Okay, so
It had
what
to
is
be-
permitted is the one that says Matterhorn Doghouse, that was permitted.
Right.
Yes.
But,
With the logo on it.
but we need
But the logo was on it, and that
Always.
was permitted. So what
Correct.
you've done is you've raised the logo
We've had
up
to,
above.
we've had to do it in two
So I couldn't
pieces.
fit it on
We
it.
had to do it
I
in
heard
two
Lowered the
pieces.
ceiling.
Okay,
So that was separated, but it's part of that sign.
so the one down below that says the Vienna beef, that one is down on the bottom,
Yeah,
right? And then the one that says Polish sausage Vienna beef, that is on the side, is that on the north side of the building?
That is on the
Not that
side.
one, the
This
next
one, this one you
No, no,
cannot
that's-
see.
Yeah, that one.
South side.
You cannot see, it faces the side of our Matterhorn Apothecary. It's the side, there's a little counter here, so that if they went to the window, they can go to the side very privately, almost by the stone wall.
So that's on the Matterhorn building.
That's on the
Doghouse
the
building.
other side of the south side of the doghouse building. It wraps around with a counter. We have a counter there.
Okay, any questions as we're going through them, please let me know. And then we have another small sign that is just a V with Vienna beef.
yeah, it's on the,
And where is that located?
that's on the garage on the north side.
That's the one that's on the north side of the garage.
Up above.
Okay, so is that everything? Is that all 5?
You have the parking sign, I believe, and you have Frankie. Instead of, it's a thank you, right? Am I correct?
So what you've added to that is thanks for coming.
Yes.
Franks for coming, which is like, thanks for coming.
And then we have the hot dog parking only, and that was not approved.
That wasn't.
Well,
but
the issue we have there is there was a parking sign there that was twice the size of that, that's been there for 60 years. We have a picture of it, we can show it to you, and we just wanted something.
Tim, do you have that picture of the parking signs on there?
I don't think I have that one,
Okay,
not the original.
okay, we have it here.
So what you want now is this one that says hot dog parking only.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a joke.
And those are all of the signs that you are now requesting, correct?
This is all that we're.
Well,
requesting.
besides the menu board, which isn't on this
That's
list.
another menu board.
The
We have
menu
to-
board, what we had decided
I have to come
was
back
that
for
that
it.
is, that you can address that with the zoning administrator.
Okay, great.
That's what we said in April.
Then we'll do that after, and I believe in the letter, he said we'll do this.
So
after.
that was, I mean, that is something that you should
Okay.
be able to do with the
Perfect.
zoning administrator.
So that's the only thing that we'll have left hanging.
Okay, so,
This is the sign that was on there. Want me to bring it up to you?
no, thank you.
You see, that's that, and this replaced it instead of that was
Right.
there for years.
Yes.
The replacement, same spot.
Okay, so, questions? Charlie, questions?
No.
Diane, questions?
No.
John, questions?
Is your attorney going to testify, or, I mean, my questions come about on this appeal is under what sections of Article 8 do the signs they've identified that they want up fall under, and why do they think they comply with Article 8?
Well, I want to go back to the question. I'm curious why we were told that we can have one sign on each side of the building. Can you verify that, John?
Are you
Well,
talking about something that was said in a meeting or
It
on
was
site?
it was on our lot, but as I travel down the town, I see signs on every side of the building, on several of the buildings here.
That was not, I mean, was that a site visit maybe?
Yeah, your son's site visit. We were standing there looking at this corner,
But remember,
and I can even remember.
Nothing said on a site visit, that's not actual,
I realize that, but why would they say it and mislead us?
I don't
I
know
don't
who
know.
said that.
Well,
I don't
anyway.
know who said it. I have no.
All right,
idea.
whatever.
It's
Just
here-
to-
it's hearsay. We're asking to do our business with this very minimalist look. How can we be able to do that and advertise properly where we are sitting? A variance, a special permit for these 5 signs to remain that are very important for people to identify what we do as we're building our business here.
And I understand what you're saying, but I think about the country store, for example, which has multiple items for sale and they don't, they don't see the need, there isn't a need to advertise, every item that's in their store to know that there's a selection of things to do. So I'm.
Every item in
But
our
we're- but
store.
we're not
We
doing
need
advertising.
5 buildings to advertise.
We're not,
everything in
we're
our
only
store.
doing the fact.
But
that
I guess I get confused when I hear you say, I think one of the questions we ask is how many businesses do you have? And if you have one business and all of these things fall under one business, then the signage, is sort of.
You guys approved the
Wait-
3
wait a
businesses,
second.
the Matterhorn Apothecary, the Matterhorn Doghouse, and the
Right,
Matterhorn
right,
and
and
Reed Spa.
we've
That's
been
3
making-
businesses.
What I'm saying is it sounds, like we've been working with you in terms of sort of going beyond what's been done for other businesses.
So
You're
these,
kidding.
these are the signs
You
that
are
we're
kidding.
asking for. That's what
I'm
we're
kidding.
asking to
No,
just, to do the, to be successful. We've eliminated all that you've asked for, except for these that we feel it catch people's eyes, that, that tell that this is what the contention is, these Vienna salt, these here, this is what for us, that is important. We get people from Massachusetts, New York, they find out that these Vienna hot dogs are here.
People from Chicago.
They're all Chicago oriented and they come in, they go, oh, I heard you have them.
Right,
Yes,
so
you.
if you have the hot dog, we've approved the hot dog stand and it's pretty prominent and it's pretty visible.
But we're talking about the type of hot dogs that we're doing, that is the catcher. Do you understand? The brand, the Vienna is very different. So is that a hardship that I'm doing, that we're asking for this?
I guess my question is,
Can you put Vienna hot dog on the sign that's already approved? I mean, change the lettering? I mean,
No,
Too small.
it's
so
too small.
I understand what you're saying here, but 4 of the 5 signs we're talking about here all say Vienna on them.
So,
what's wrong with that?
is that a
Well,
problem?
if you
Like,
go,
if
what
one's on
they're
one side-
asking for is, if you go off section 8, the number of signs, right? This refers to one structure mounted, no customer entry sign that's facing a public area. So with that in mind, you get 1 on the building. We're talking about 5 signs that all say the same thing.
Well, they don't.
Well, you have,
But if we
you
had one,
definitely have 4 signs, no, 3 signs that say the same thing.
If I may here, there are 3 separate businesses with 3 separate structures. We're looking at 1 sign with a customer facing under section 832 and 1 structure mounted per customer entry and 1 structure mounted no customer entry but facing a public area. So that would be the side building sign plus customer entrance facing sign. So we have 3 businesses, we have 3 buildings.
wait, I don't mean to interrupt, but I thought I heard that there's 1 business and and it has multiple things. That's what they testified. That's the testimony I heard earlier. So now now there's 3 businesses, separate businesses?
but they
Or
are-
I thought you testified that you have 1
Those are the
business
reports.
with
You
multiple.
guys approved 3 businesses.
One at a time,
So-
please.
so
Okay.
we have-
I
We're on the
understand,
board. You should
Matt,
know
I
this.
understand
You
you're
should know
frustrated.
this.
Please let
So
us
think
ask
of-
our questions and make our comments.
Waste of time.
So, okay. Yes, Ronnie, you did say that it was
It's
one
under- it's
business
under-
with multiple, yes.
It is.
So let's go back to Kim. How many businesses is it?
It is how you, I guess, comes down to how you define the word business. There is a cannabis dispensary and gift shop, there is a hot dog stand, and there are the spas. So there are now, is that one parent company which controls 3 separate businesses, but we do have 3 separate structures on the property. We have one which is a gift shop and a cannabis dispensary. We have one which is a hot dog stand, and we have the one that's the spas. So I guess that really does come down to a definition of how are you going to define the term business. There are different accounting measures for the cannabis versus the hot dog stand. They're run by the same individuals. So how would the board define businesses? I would say those are 3 separate for the purposes of signage, since there are 3 separate areas. One is food, one is cannabis and gifts, one is spas, that they would have and should be allowed under the zoning signage for each individual business.
So
The signs we're asking about here was for what business? The hot dog, correct?
The ski sign would be for the dispensary and the ski shop. And then we have the signage for the hot dog stand. Those are where we're at today.
So besides the skis, the chairs, the other four are all for the hot dog, correct? And they're all on one structure, correct?
Correct.
So the sign above where you order your hot dogs that you put up on the screen earlier, Tim, that's with the logo and the Matterhorn Doghouse. That would be a sign for the doghouse, correct? Yes, exactly.
That would be one, yes, that would be one side. Even though they are technically at this point 2 pieces due to the construction requirements, with a wooden dowel, those could very easily be made to consist of one sign. They originally were one sign.
So if we permitted the ski chair sign, then you would have 3 signs for your 3 businesses, because you already have the sign for the hot dogs and you have the sign for the spa.
Is this?
I believe the proposal was to put the ski chair, here's the corner of the building, the ski chair sign would be the one sign permitted on a non-customer entrance under 832 on this side here of the building.
So is the ski chair a separate business, or that's part of the?
The dispensary and gift shop would be part of the gifts that are available. in the dispensary.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to be sure that everyone has their opportunity to speak. John, I think you were trying to speak before.
Well, I asked a question that did not get answered, which is Timothy sort of answered parts of it, but I was just trying to understand under what sections of Article 8 each of these signs complies with, and because that's what we're here for. This is an appeal, so I would like to understand specifically how they think these signs would be permitted under Article 8.
Correct, Mr. Gannon. And that would be under 832. Each commercial business other than home occupations and home business may have one structure mounted per customer entry, and section D, one structure mounted, no customer entry but facing a public area. That would be for at least 2 of them for each of the businesses.
But these are hot dog signs for the hot dog business. So they don't get a sign for the gift shop. It was a sign for the gift shop. We're talking about the 4 hot dog ones at this point, correct?
Yeah. How do you explain the 4 hot dog signs? I mean.
Okay, so if we can whittle them down one at a time and get down. So we started out with 6. We passed on the cross. If we can agree that the ski sign can be on the non-customer entry side of the, we'll call it the dispensary building. Now, we can handle these one at a time. So now we're coming down to the question of the 2 hot dog signs, the name and the logo, which originally was one sign, which if the board wants, we can add a dowel and create again one sign. Now that has been solved. That problem has been solved, leaving us 1 sign there. And that would leave us 3 signs. So then if we can do the Vienna sign on the side, the non-customer facing side, that would be permitted under section D. Now we're down to 2 signs. And the signs we're looking at would be replacement of the parking sign, which is a small inconspicuous sign. Not, we take another look at it. That's what we're coming down to now are 2 inconspicuous signs, which we would ask the board in their authority to permit.
Well, actually, I'm looking at 3 Vienna signs that are totally, I know, Ronnie, you say that those 3 signs are a part of your business and important to your business. The Polish sauces.
Okay.
There's 3 of them.
Listen, how about this? They're all different. They're different types. How will you allow for 1 sign? Matt and I have said we will take this Vienna sign down. We'll take the Polish sausage, which is a different part of Vienna, down, but we want to keep the hot dog logo, hot dog sign up, and this one underneath, which identifies Vienna is in this house.
And that's the one that's underneath the hot
That's
dog.
correct, all on one.
Right. So
On
that
the
would
bottom,
be,
it's on the bottom. That's
that
what
would
we're
be 2
asking for.
signs on the front, so to speak, of the hot dog part.
Yeah,
The Chicago style, that one.
taking this down, and then we're still asking, the permit for fun, so people could smile. That's, we had one here,
parking.
as the parking, as you know, we put that there, but, and then the other one was the thanks for coming, that Alex, I'd like to see if that could stay there. Those four.
She's in forward facing.
So it's not really
You don't
this,
see it
it's
unless
these
you come
two, 1, 2, and this is on his back. This is thank you for coming.
We'll put that one up now. This is another small inconsequential sign which cannot be seen from the road,
And
cannot
these
be
are
seen
not here.
anywhere. This is just a little goodbye.
That's not here.
Unfortunately, Tim, as you have seen, our Article 8 is rather large and every sign appears to be consequential to the town. So we can't say that any of them are inconsequential. But anyhow, so, okay. What we are currently looking at is the logo with the Matterhorn Doghouse.
Yes, and
The
that'll be
sign
B1.
below that talks about
It says
Chicago style.
Chicago style hot dog, that's.
We're getting
Vienna.
rid of the Polish sausage.
Yes,
We're getting rid of the little
yes,
Vienna V.
yes,
And we're talking about moving the ski chair over to the side of the building where the ski chairs are.
yes.
And you still are asking for the thank you for coming?
The
Thanks
thanks
for
for
coming.
coming.
And you're still asking for the no parking. Am I correct?
It's gonna make any difference, we'll take that one.
You'll
We'd like
take the
to-
no
we-
parking
we'd
down
like to
too?
have it, but
Still
we can't, but we still are asking for it.
Okay, so let's be sure that everybody's clear on what we're looking for. We're looking for the Chicago style. We're looking for the logo and the Matterhorn Doghouse. And we're looking for the ski chair. And we're still discussing the thanks for coming or whatever it says.
Yes, thanks for coming.
So I thought it was the Vienna hot dog sign.
That's
not the
coming down.
Chicago.
The Vienna hot
But
dog
this
is
is-
coming down.
This one says Vienna beef, that's what we were getting across, so that's staying. We'd like it to stay, and it's the underneath the window. This is the sign with the logo on it, which we could attach as the one sign. We had to do as two. I think that was not understood.
Okay,
We're asking, we would like this replaced the sign that was here for years that said no parking. And we thought that was whimsical. And we thought this was a nice way to say thank you. Thanks for coming.
But we're getting rid of the Polish sausage one that's out and the little B one is out, Diane.
That's correct.
right.
So those are your current requests. Okay.
Yes. that is our current request.
Before we ask anyone else, Charlie, any questions?
Nope.
Diane, question?
No, I think I get it. Ski sign moves to the side, the hot dog logo and the Vienna hot dog stays. Then they're asking for the parking and good little goodbye thing on the back of the hot dog.
Correct. John, questions?
No, I understand what they're asking for.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, I don't know what your name is.
Jason Dubek.
Thank you, Jason. You had a comment?
I have 2 points I'd like to bring up, one to the board afterwards.
Do you want to grab that because we have to record? No, just you don't have to move. You just, no, pick that one up right there and talk into it.
Microphone. Here we go. Can you hear me now?
It's for recording.
My name is Jason Dubek. I've been to the DRB board once before. I don't know if you remember me, ma'am. Okay. Mr. Gannon, Chuck. A lot of this would not happen if you followed the procedures that are in place already. What I mean by that is the sign study. As a matter of fact, Ms. Laflamme, you mentioned the sign study at the select board meeting in this room on 9/15. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but it was my suggestion. I found it going through the zoning rules that they actually follow through with it. Section 218, zoning administrator maintains a database of signs. The zoning administrator is encouraged to establish and maintain a log of all signs in the town of Wilmington, including but not limited to the date or approximate date of the sign was erected, if available, and whether the sign is predated zoning, obtained a permit, is in conformity with all the applicable zoning applications. It's pretty simple. This sign study does not exist. I asked for it a year ago at the select board meeting. That's on record for it to be done. There was an intern that worked on the sign study.
It didn't finish it, right?
They didn't even do anything. I have a copy of the sign study here. So I went to the town to do a freedom of information request for the sign study. I was denied twice, 2 separate occasions. And the third time I have a copy of it. The sign study is nothing more than just a slight list of businesses in town. Some signs are on it. Nobody is truly permitted on this sign study except the town of Wilmington. And this would avoid a lot of the gray areas and selective enforcement that I believe I've endured pretty much through Jessica Roberts, but I've had issues with all 3 zoning
Okay,
administrators.
let's not get into that. Are you finished with your comments on signs?
In regards to signs, yes, but this sign study is suggested to be done. It should be part of your policy.
Alex is making.
So,
I volunteered.
Excuse me?
well, I guess I'm hearing 2 things. I mean, it sounds like that's not an issue for this particular meeting. That might be an administrative thing and report that needs to be followed up with the town of Wilmington, but there's an entire section 8 on signage that is part of the ordinance, and it's pretty specific for all business owners. And when they come and do an application here, that's what we look at. You know, we look at all of the ordinance, you know, all the requirements in section 8 under signage.
My response to that, Diane, is if it was fair for everybody and everybody was already assumed to be totally legal with their signage, it wouldn't be questionable. And, you know, it wouldn't be like, how could this guy have that when I can't have that? How could this guy have that when I can't have that? Because it would be a fair, level playing field and it wouldn't be able to be selectively enforced. I brought this to the town select board multiple times. I was just at the meeting on Saturday, the budget meeting, and I suggested that they allocate a budget to have a third party come in, do the sign study and have it proper. And then it just has to be maintained by our ZA.
Right.
But this sign study is ridiculous.
I think it's a good suggestion, and I think it's going to require a lot of work on somebody's behalf, and maybe it is maybe I don't know. I mean, that's maybe something to take up with the town. But yeah, they'd have to go back and comb through lots of records, like years of records, and I mean,
as a matter of fact, ma'am, I volunteered my own services to work with Gretchen Haverlock, and I've offered to do it as a volunteer.
I want to just.
The thing you need to also keep in mind,
You're not a resident of Wilmington, and I do not believe you are a leaseholder. I believe someone else is.
I guarantee it.
Well, that's not the information.
I can guarantee that if that is a point of contention, I paid for the lease and I signed the lease and I had it rewritten.
Have that discussion with the owner of the property.
And
the owner of the property.
I'm a leaseholder of a business in Wilmington, Vermont.
That's fine, but that's not what we're talking about.
No, you just said you don't believe I'm the leaseholder. I am a leaseholder.
According to the owner of the property, if you're talking about the place, they say that it is someone else who is the leaseholder.
You have been misinformed. Okay. On record, I would like to say I hold the lease. Jason Duback holds the lease to the woodshed.
Go to the zoning administrator.
I want
to paperwork, but that's not what this hearing is about.
What paperwork do I need to fill out for the lease then?
To Alex, but that's not what we're talking about in this hearing. This hearing is about a completely different case. So we think
it is about a different case regarding signs that I'm just trying to limit this from happening to other business owners because the same thing has happened to us.
Okay, thank
you.
But
this is not the place for that discussion, and we simply can't, you know, have a meaningful, engaging conversation with you about it, because it's outside of the case that we're currently in and listening and hearing right now.
Thank you. We are in a hearing. It is a legal event and we appreciate your comments, but anything further will not be addressed. Did anyone else want to make a comment quickly before we move on?
Is this open to the public?
I'm so sorry. No, it is not open to the public.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So before we close, Diane, any questions?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
John, any questions?
No, I'm fine.
Charlie?
Nope.
Ronnie, Matt, do you have any questions for us?
No, we just hope that you can help us succeed here in Wilmington.
We understand what you're looking for. We will go into deliberations and we will make our decision and Alex will get it. And we appreciate your coming in. And we appreciate you coming also, Tim. Thank you so much. I am now going to close the hearing and thank you all.
Thank you.
So thank you, everyone. Appreciate your coming in. And now we will go back to our meeting. So for our new and old business, I just want to mention that we do have a hearing on November 17th. At this point, there will only be one case at that hearing. Charlie has already said he is not going to be available. Crystal's available. Anybody else available? Diane, John? Okay.
Maybe by Zoom, possibly. Yeah, Zoom, if anything.
Okay, all right, so but there's just one case. Okay, so and other than that, thank you all for coming and I am going to close the meeting. Thank you.
Charles, do you want us to?
I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to wait till the room clears. Okay. I'm sorry.
Sorry. All right.
Cheryl LaFlamme.
And how do I spell your first and last name?
It's in, if you go on the town website, you'll see it listed. I am the chair of the DRB.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
I've always wanted to, I might be able to roll.
This community, because it does not.
What's your last name?
I think the
Boston.
best thing would be if I call.
And what's your position?
No position. I'm just on the board.
So I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you're, so what do you do?